In today's video, I will be testing out every single race awakening in Blox fruits, showcasing all the abilities, explaining all kinds of pros and cons, and finally rating each race out of 10. But before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button because more than 90% of you guys are not subscribed. Anyways, let's get right into the video. Shark Awakening. Alrighty, look at this bad boy right here. As you can already tell, while you have fully awakened the shark race, you will have these two little fins and also this big tail, and it just has a very simple buff. Decreases the damage the player takes while in water as a Blox fruit user, and as you awaken this race you will become completely immune to water damage even if you are using a devil fruit. And if we talk about the V3 ability, it has water body, and trust me, this is broken. Just look at this. Decreases damage taken from players and NPCs by around 70%. And this lasts for around 4.5 seconds with a 30 seconds cooldown. If you didn't understand that, let me just show you. Basically, this NPC right here, look at that. He deals a bunch of damage, right? And as soon as I turn on my V3, look, he's literally dealing so little damage. And you might think, that's not really that strong. Imagine somebody is doing a very strong combo on you, and in the combo, you just press your V3 ability. His combo is literally useless. And here we have the V4. Look at this. I don't know why, but it just turns my hair white, but still it looks very cool. And in this awakening, it has two abilities. The first one actually slows your enemy. The more you hit your enemy, the slower they are. Look at that. He's super duper slow. And I would say this is one of the most underrated abilities in the entire game. Like whenever you are PvPing somebody and he's that slow, like you cannot miss your moves and they cannot run away. Like it's literally so broken, man. And let me just show you the second ability. So the more damage you do to other people, you will get like a blue bar on your health. This is a very cool mechanic and can help you win a lot of fights. Look at this. If he's going to damage me, I'm just gonna not lose any health. It's just gonna deplete my blue shield. So I would say if you are a beginner and learning how to PvP, Shark is actually a pretty good race for you to use. Anyways, it's time for me to rate the race out of 10, and I'm gonna rate the Shark race 9 out of 10. Rabbit Awakening. While using the rabbit race, you will have two of these bunny ears and this big tail, which looks pretty good. It's not bad at all. And the normal buffs are actually pretty strong. It increases the player's movement speed to 2 times their normal speed. Also increases your dash distance and reduces the energy you use, which means first of all, you are 2 times faster than a normal player, and secondly, your dashes are very long, making you even more faster. And if you use the pilot's helmet accessory, you can be rapid. Look at this. You are freaking fast. And just like all the other races, this has another V3 ability known as agility. And it simply does what you think. Increases the player's movement speed to 4 times their normal speed. And also increases the dash distance slightly and reduces the cooldown of dashing. So this simply means you will be even more faster. You can spam your dashes and it's just crazy, bro. Look at this. You have insane speed. So you can already guess what sort of race this is going to be. It's all about speed. And now here we have the V4 ability. Look at this. It's a very cool effect that you will have, and just look at this. You are so fast, bro. Like nobody's gonna be able to hit you if you are using your race awakening. You are so fast. And let me just show you guys the abilities. So if you do a normal dash, you will leave behind a little tornado which can stun your opponents. So this can help you confuse your opponents and also stun them so you can do a little bit of a combo. And don't forget, these tornadoes actually do a little bit of damage as well. And if you hold down your dash button, you will do a super dash. Look at that. And you can also do this in the air as well. Look at this. You hold it down, you do a super dash. Pretty cool, right? But I would say the main ability is the tornado ones, because the dash one is good, yes, but it's not really that practical, because in a fight you're not going to really stop here and then do a dash, right? Like a super dash. But regardless of that, it's actually pretty good. And you might be getting the idea that this race is not really that good. Trust me, it's actually good if you know how to use it. good. But the main thing is, Blox Fruits has different races and they all have very unique abilities. Some races are very strong for dealing damage, some races are strong for grinding levels, and exactly like that, the rabbit race is good for speed. And this speed can help you dodge your enemy's attacks, run away from dangerous situations, and so much more. So it's not particularly a bad race, it's just how you actually use it. So now it's time for me to rate the race out of 10. And personally, I'm gonna give it a rating of 8 out of 10. Cyborg Awakening. When you have the Cyborg V4, you will have these cool looking electric wings or something like that, like robotic wings. It just makes your character look very cool. And you also will have this little mask on your face as well. And if you talk about the buffs, you will gain an extra 10% defense against melee, sword, and gun attacks, and 15% of received damage passively converts into energy. Like it's not bad, but yeah, it's not really like the best buff you get. But that does not mean that Cyborg is a bad race, and you will find out very soon. And I'm sorry guys, I'm kinda sick, that's why my voice sounds like this, so yeah, just bear with me. Anyways, just like all the other races, we have the V3 ability, Energy Core. Basically what it does is boosts the player's defense by 30% and creates an area of effect lightning around the player during the ability that does tick damage to enemies within its range. And that damage is also pretty strong, and let me just show you what that means. So when I use my V3 ability, look at this. I'm just dealing like a bunch of damage. Look at that, around 6,000 damage. And the best part is it breaks your observation hockey. You know this observation hockey which you can dodge attacks with? If you use the V3 ability, your enemy's observation hockey will break instantly and you can do a very strong combo. And trust me guys, this is one of the best, if not the best V3 ability in the game. It's freaking broken. And here we have the V4, and just look at how cool you look, bro. This is one of the coolest looking V4s as well. And let me just explain the abilities real quick. So if you actually double jump, you will do a super jump, and this is based on your momentum. If you have more speed, you will go further. So what you can do is jump and dash at the same time, doing a super jump dash thingy majigger. This can help you travel across the map and dodge your enemy's attacks, or if you want to chase them, you can also do that. And then there is the second ability. Whenever you hit someone, you will have extra orbs hitting all the NPCs in the area or all the players in the area, which means it's broken for farming. And this is the reason why, because you will deal damage to one NPC, but you will be damaging 5 NPCs at once. So if you are struggling to grind mastery or stuff like that, this is by far the best freaking race for farming masteries or grinding fruits or anything like that. And just like I talked about earlier, the V3 ability is what makes this race extremely strong. Like, people cannot escape your combo, you will deal extra damage, you will have extra defense. Bro, like it's broken, man. So yes, I think it's time for me to rate the race out of 10, and for me the Cyborg race is a 10 out of 10. Human Awakening. Okay, as you can already tell, there are no visual differences. Like, you just completely look normal when you are using the human race. You don't have any fins or tails or anything like that. But while using the human race, you definitely will have some buffs. First of all, it has a little increase in movement speed, flash step range is doubled, and its cooldown is lowered to 10 seconds. You get an extra dodge, longer dash distance, and slightly increased melee speed, which basically means it gives you some little buffs. You can dash further away, and it also has a pretty fast cooldown. Then it has the Last Resort V3 ability. The user deals more damage depending on how low their health is, and it goes up to 50% more damage. Look at this. This is a normal punch, 2700. Let me just take like a bunch of damage. There we go. Let me use my ability and look at this. Bang. 3600 damage. Bro, that was like an extra free 1000 damage. And imagine you do this with a full combo. Yup, it will literally destroy your enemy. And now the moment you all have been waiting for. V4 ability. Look at how cool it looks, bro. This has to be one of the coolest looking V4 awakenings in this game. And it has very simple abilities. The first ability revolves around you dashing around. As you can see, this red bar right here, it has 3 little sections. Whenever you do a teleport, one of them will go away. And after some time, you will get it back. And the best part is, whenever you dash, you will go invisible for a little bit. So you can definitely confuse your enemies with this. Then you see this number right here. The more damage you deal to other people, the higher this number will go. Let me just show you guys. Look at this. So if you do a lot of damage, it's up to 95. And now, any damage you do, you will do a lot of damage. Like, ton of damage, bro. Like, just look at this. Even a little punch is 4,500 damage. That's nearly double. Like, literally double the damage you do. So this simply means if you were to do a little combo, you can one-tap your opponents within like 2 or 3 moves. Dude, why am I walking inside a box? What is this? So now it's time for me to rate the race out of 10. And personally, I'm gonna rate the human race 8 out of 10. Draco Awakening. When you are using the Draco race, you will be having 2 of these wings. And then you will have like a bunch of horns on your head, which definitely looks pretty cool. And if we talk about the buffs, it simply gives the player 5% health boost, 5% damage reduction, and 5% extra damage on their melee, which I guess are minimal buffs, but they are still buffs at the end of the day. And additionally, if you actually spam your jump button, look at this. You can actually fly for a little bit. It has a cooldown and you will fall down, but nonetheless, it's a little flight ability. And just like all the other races, you will have the Primordial Rain, or what? Yeah, I'm bad at pronouncing stuff, bro. Give me a break. Anyways, you can see a big description of this ability, but I'm just gonna simplify it for you guys. Whenever you do the ability, just like this, it will buff the player itself and the allies with an extra 14% damage and extra 15% movement speed. And also at the same time, it will debuff the speed of nearby enemies by 15%, meaning it will buff you and your allies and debuff your enemies. And here we have the Race V4. Look at this. This is probably the coolest looking Race V4 in the entire game. And if you zoom out, look at this. You will have a full circle covering you, giving you a very cool aura. And let me just explain the abilities real fast. So if you damage somebody, they will actually receive a little orb. And once you damage them again and again, they will have multiple orbs until they get 4 and they explode, dealing a lot of damage. And the best part is, if somebody else is in the range of these orbs in your circle, they will also receive extra damage. Like it's free damage for every NPC or every player in this circle thingy. And then the second ability is also very simple. The more damage you take, the more damage you return to your enemy. Hey, yo, I'm about to die. Holy crap. And personally, Draco is actually very good for farming as well. Like, look at this. Every NPC dies so fast because of your orbs. Like, you just have to gather all of them up together, just like this. And look at this. They're dead. So yeah, now it's time for me to rate the race out of 10. And I think I'm gonna be giving Draco a 9 out of 10. Angel Awakening. Alright, as you can see, when you are using the angel race, you will have these 2 beautiful wings, making you look like a freaking angel. I'm not gonna lie, it looks very clean. And here we have the buffs. The player's jump height will slightly increase. And if you upgrade the race a little bit more, the first air jump will go slightly higher than the other jumps. And the energy while air jumping is reduced by 20%, and the player gains an additional air jump, which I'm not gonna lie is absolutely dookie. Like that's one of the worst buffs that you can get by a race. But forget that, let's move on into the V3. Angel has the Heavenly Blood V3 ability, which as you guys can see, it increases your defense by 15% and heals 14% of your health. And look at that. Look at my health. It's healing super fast, and whenever you are doing PvP, this comes in very handy. And here we have the Race V4. So the first ability is very simple. If somebody gets too close to you, look at this. They will get stunned, and you actually deal a bunch of damage as well. And this can be very helpful if you are farming levels or if you are doing PvP. I think this single ability makes the Angel Race very busted. Then there's the second ability, which is a simple flight, and that's pretty much it. And 99% of the people use this to run away, which I freaking hate. Anyways, now I have to give the Angel Race a rating, and I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Ghoul Awakening. Alrighty, so when you are using the Ghoul Race, you will have these 2 little horns and plus this red thingy across your head. And looking at my avatar, it makes you look pretty freaking cool. And if we talk about the buffs, whenever you are using the Ghoul race, you will have increased health regeneration and 30% extra run speed during the night. Then you will also have life leech, which means when you are using your fighting style, you will heal back 25% of the damage done to the player. The same thing happens with NPCs, but you only gain back 5% of the damage, which is still very good. And now let's talk about the V3 abilities, the heightened senses. And this, my friends, is absolutely broken. First of all, whenever you use this ability, buffs the player's overall damage by 5%, speed by 20%, and defense by 15%. And the most important part, lets the player use moves when at 40% cooldown. And I don't know if you understood that or not, let me just explain. So for example, I used the ability of my god human, right? And now if I do my V3 ability, without even its cooldown finished, I can use it again. If it reaches 40%, I can use it. So just imagine that with a fruit you can spam. Like, that would be crazy, bro. Like, if I'm using the Kitsune fruit, right? I use all of my moves. There we go. All of them are done. They're on cooldown, right? No, they're not. I am using them again. Like, what? What is this, bro? That's broken. And now, here we have the V4. Look at this. Now, this is what you call aura. Personally, this is my favorite race awakening in the game. Like, look at how cool the crows look. It's so freaking clean. And let me just explain the abilities super duper fast. Okay, so the first ability is super simple. It's basically a leech. Whenever you use your moves, any moves, you will simply heal yourself back. Let me just take a little bit of damage and just look at my health, okay? Just look at my health. I'm just gonna gain like so much health. Look at that. So Ghoul, you can literally get your health back in like a few seconds. It's broken. Then the second ability is this black aura right here. So whenever I go near somebody and dash, my crows will attack it, dealing extra damage. And plus, the closer I am to the enemy, they will literally be freaking blind, bro. And they will also not heal any health. Like, they will not be able to heal any health. So it's very OP if you are close to somebody and you're just spamming all your moves. The more damage you do, the more you heal yourself. It's literally broken. I would say all the races are pretty solid, all of them are very strong, but I think Ghoul is definitely one of the best. It's absolutely broken. So it's the time for me to rate it out of 10, and I'm gonna give it a rating of 10 out of 10. So yeah, that simply wraps up the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys found this video helpful or enjoyed it even a little bit, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because more than 90% of you guys are not subscribed. And while you're at it, also make sure to join my Discord server down in the description, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.